Hi everyone, welcome on board. This is Anisha here, and today we are in conversation with Swapnil ma'am, who is, the owner, you can say, of the NMAT product. She is the associate director for NMAT product, and we are very, very obliged, ma'am, for you to come here today and share the insights about the NMAT exam with all these aspirants who are planning to write NMAT this year.
Hi, good afternoon, Anisha, and thank you so much for calling me and asking the questions, whichever you feel that they will be the last minute queries from the student side. Yes, I'm ready to answer all
So,
your queries.
ma'am, coming from a student's perspective, like I gave NMAT years back before my NMAMS Mumbai. That time we used to have a window and these windows concept and one NMAT exam. Now NMAT has become adaptive. So, can you explain to us what is this adaptive exam and why an adaptive exam, firstly?
All right. So before I will go and talk about adaptive, what is adaptive, let me just make you understand what is a quick recap about NMAT exam. So NMAT is 2 hours exams. It has three sections, total 108 questions. Three sections are quantitative skills, logical reasoning, language skills, and candidate can choose the order of the sections in the beginning of the exam.
Yeah.
Each section is individually timed. There are 36 questions in each one of them, but the timing given to each section is different. There is no negative marking, and the score scale is between 36 to 360. All three sections are equally weighted. Testing mode this year in 2024 is in the test center. There are test centers available in 83 cities. There is a calendar, slot calendar, where the candidates can choose the date and the time preferred
Yeah.
as per them, and then accordingly they can book the appointment for the exam. Right. So when I'm talking about adaptive exam, so adaptive, you can say it's a logic or algorithm which runs in the background, which gives the difficulty level of the next question based on the answer given of the previous question by the candidate. In the layman terms, or just for example, I will just tell you, like suppose I am a candidate and I started my exam, right? So I will get in first question of some difficulty level. If I attempted it correct, the next question will be little higher difficulty level. If I attempted it incorrect, then the next question will be of the lower difficulty level. So based on the answer given of each question by the candidate, it gives the next question of the difficulty level which the algorithm thinks that this candidate can answer. So this
Lovely.
is how the adaptive exam is, they have been created, and you can say that difficulty level of every examinee is based on their responses. So every candidate has different difficulty level questions in front of them.
सो मैम बेसिकली मेरे को मेरे कैपेबिलिटी के हिसाब से क्वेश्चंस आएंगे जो अगर मुझे टफ क्वेश्चंस नहीं हो पा रहे हैं इफ रादर देन गोइंग रॉन्ग वो मुझे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन थोड़ा ईजियर दे देंगे सो दैट आई एम एबल टू सॉल्व इट
Not all questions will be easier.
द
It's
नेक्स्ट
like,
वन
the next one.
ठीक
And
है
for every section, suppose in the language, you're attempting language as a first section, and it starts from, you can say, some difficulty level,
ओके
and then based on your answer, correct or incorrect, it will keep changing the difficulty level. When you're going to the next section, then again it will start from some difficulty level and then keeps changing the
ओके
difficulty level of the question. So if you have attempted suppose low in a first section, it does not mean that you will be getting the easier questions in the next section. No, each
लवली
section is individually timed and individually, you can say, adaptive.
perfect so my performance at verbal does not reflect anything on what kind of questions will come in, let's say LR, if that's my second section.
Yes, you're right.
Lovely. That's great. So I hope all of you guys you know what is an adaptive exam. Trust me, it's the most easiest for you because no other exam gives you questions based on your own performance. Everywhere else that's a fixed paper. So this is a big advantage for you. Now, ma'am, when we look at this, adaptive hai and this becomes one of the major difference when you compare to all other exams. What do you think is the difference between NMAT and the other exams, let's say like a CAT, a ZAT, or a SNAP, from the student's perspective?
Okay. So as Anisha, we were talking that yes, the format and the structure of the exam itself is different,
Yeah.
right? One, NMAT is adaptive. Second, the candidates can choose the section order based on their strength and the weakness, which is not allowed in other exams. Okay,
Correct.
their section orders have been predefined. The candidates have to attempt in the same section order, whichever is been given to them. Second, we can say the scoring pattern. NMAT scoring is in the form of it's in a score range starting from 36 and to 360, and other exam like CAT is like in the base gives the scores in the form of percentile.
Yeah.
Okay, so every exam has their own scoring pattern. Third, which is one more change, or you can say one more differentiation between an NMAT and another exam, is the exam window. NMAT, as it is called, at very much candidate friendly exam, it gives you a longer window for a candidate to choose their preferred date and slot for the exam, which is not in other exams. There is a fixed date given on which they have to appear for the exam, and if they could not make it to that date, then they have to attempt for the exam in the next year. So that
Right.
is what makes NMAT how very much candidate friendly. Second is that acceptability. Like it all depends on the candidate to which B schools or which institutes they would like to take their admission. Suppose people who are just looking for IIMs, they would prefer to give CAT. Those who are looking admission in NM, IMS, and other schools, there are 80 plus schools which are accepting NMAT. They will prefer giving NMAT. Those who are looking to take admission in Symbiosis, they will like to give SNAP. So it based on the acceptance of the business schools that which exam the candidate should give.
ओके मैम, वन मोर थिंग, आपने स्टार्ट में मेंशन किया था कि एनमैट में देर इज़ नो नेगेटिव मार्किंग. हाउ इज़ दैट मैम? कि लाइक स्कोरिंग जैसे है अडेप्टिव में, सो देर इज़ नो नेगेटिव मार्किंग एट ऑल इफ आई डू क्वेश्चंस रॉन्ग?
Yes, there is no negative marking if you are giving the answer incorrect. However, if there is a time given for to complete one section and you have to give some answer, right or wrong, to move to the next question, but if you are not able to complete the number of questions given in that section, then there is a penalty and then your marks got deducted.
और मैम वो कितने मार्क्स डिडक्ट होंगे वो हम नहीं बताते.
We don't know that.
ठीक है
There,
मैम.
again, the algo which runs in the background.
So basically, I have to attempt all 36 questions in every section. That is 108 questions overall in that 120 minutes time slot which is there. Ma'am, last question. You are literally the one who runs NMAT. तो हम आपसे थोड़ा सा चीट क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे. मैम, इज NMAT एग्जाम इजी और किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं?
Oh, well, the types of question, it's being published on the website very clearly, the sections and the topics over there. And see, whether it is easy or difficult, it depends on few factors. First of all, whether the candidate is familiar with the format or not, means they do know the sections, and in each sections what topics are going to come into the NMAT exam.
Yeah.
Then suppose there are language, quant, logical reasoning, then in each of these sections what are the topics for which they have to prepare. Second is their preparation level, how confident they are, how many times they have taken the prep exams, and how much score they are getting. Have they gone through in thoroughly with the score report which prep test give, NMAT prep test give, and have they worked on their strength and the weaknesses over there? Are they studying with the help of your official guide where the tips and tricks are also being given to crack the questions? So it all depends on the preparation. So if I'm not prepared, then everything is difficult for me. If I'm prepared, then everything is easy for me.
That's a very lovely and a diplomatic answer, but trust me, guys, NMAT is easier than CAT. So if you've not yet registered, don't miss the last deadline. And one more beautiful advantage for all the non engineers, there is no geometry in your NMAT. If you check the topics and the syllabus, as ma'am mentioned, it's all given on the website. तो आपका सिलेबस भी डिफाइंड है, आपका नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस भी डिफाइंड है, यू हैव मॉक टेस्ट्स फॉर योर प्रैक्टिस. What more do you need, right, ma'am? Any other things that you would love to share with all of these aspirants who are thinking whether they should or they should not take NMAT? Any last minute advice for them?
In my opinion or suggestion, yes, they should take NMAT. First of all, there are chances that if they have prepared well, then they can score well and they can get really good institutes which are accepting NMAT score. So I would just urge them that okay, they should definitely take the NMAT test if they are looking for business studies, because NMAT is not only accepted in India, it has been accepted in other countries also. There are a couple of other institutes in Philippines,
Yeah.
Hungary, South Africa, Nigeria, which are accepting NMAT. So it
Also, ma'am,
depends
one
on them
last
that. Sorry.
one last thing, ma'am. We can also take NMAT again, right? We can take a repeat attempt for it.
Yes, we can. So within a testing cycle, or you can say
Okay.
within the defined window, which has been always published on the NMAT website, that exam window starts, suppose for this year, the exam window is starting from 5th of November and ending on 20th December. So within this period, they can appear thrice. So there is one main attempt and two retake attempts any candidate can take. If you have not scored well in the main attempt, then you can take the retake one. If not in retake one, then you can take retake two.
Lovely.
Okay, but it depends on the institute to institute whether they are accepting the retake scores or they are accepting the first valid score. So this is something
Yeah.
which candidate need to understand, and they have to check from the college or institute website first, and then accordingly they can choose or they can decide whether they would like to take retakes or not. But yes, this is a big advantage, and there is an option to give retake within that stipulated given time.
Lovely. That's really amazing. Thank you so much, Swapnil ma'am, for sharing these insights with us and giving us a little bit idea about how the NMAT exam is made adaptive. Quickly, for all of you guys who have not yet watched the entire video, I will summarize what ma'am has shared is. Firstly, NMAT is going to be an adaptive exam which makes it candidate friendly and based on your own capability for each and every question, independent of all the sections. So your one section does not reflect onto the other section's performance. Secondly, you will get the advantage to choose your own date, day, time at the centers only, but you have an entire window from 5th November to 20th December to schedule your exam, the first main one, and you can also take in 2 retakes if you have the timeline and bandwidth to give in 3 attempts for it. Next, you have no geometry in your syllabus, relatively a little easier, and the only thing you need to keep in mind is no negative marking, but if you leave questions unattempted, there will be a penalty. All right, so I hope all of you guys, this video was helpful for you. If you guys have any other doubts or questions regarding NMAT or their NMAT preparation or the colleges and cutoffs, drop in the comment section. We will take that up for you, and we shall keep inviting ma'am further ahead to help us understand more about what the NMAT exam is all about. Thank you so
Anisha,
much,
but
ma'am.
there is one correction I would like to make over here.
Yes.
The scheduling for the exam, there is a window. So till 14th of September, they have to schedule, they have to choose the date and time. But yes, the exam window, when the exam delivery will start, that
Yeah.
will start from 5th of November.
Lovely. All right, great. Thank you so much, everyone. All the best. Take care.